Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hri Om. The next Avatara is Parashurama Avatara. Parashurama Avatara is also a human form of Supreme God Narayana. It seems many have confused themselves about Parashurama Avatara to Balarama Avatara. Instead of Parashurama, they consider Balarama as one of the Avatara in Dashavataras. But it's not correct. It's very clearly in the scriptures stated that Parashurama is a direct incarnation, that is Sakshat Avatara of Supreme God Narayana. There is a Shuklakesha Avesha in Balarama. Balarama is an avatara of Shesha, the serpent god. In Balarama, the Supreme God Narayana, that the Shukla Kesha, Avesha is there. So Balarama is the Avesha Avatara, but not the Sakshad Avatara. This has to be understood clearly at the beginning. See, before the Avatara of Parashurama Avatara, almost all Kshatriyas were off the path. That means they were very cruel in nature. They were following adharma. Instead of protecting the citizens, they were destructive in nature. They were causing all sorts of trouble to the very citizens. With this, Devatas, Rishis, they prayed God. Then the Supreme God Narayana decided, and he himself incarnated as a son of Rishi Jamadagni by the name Parashurama. When his father Rishi Jamadagni was brutally killed by arrogant, cruel Kshatriyas, Parashurama took an oath to destroy the whole Kshatriya Kula. Parashu means axe. So with the axe, bow and an arrow, he travelled all over the earth for 21 times, not one or two, and killed almost all the Kshatriyas. Thereby, he stood by his own words, that is, Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya cha Dushkrutam. Vinashaya cha Dushkrutam. So when he killed almost all the Kshatriyas, he conquered the whole land, that is earth. Then he re-established the Sanatana Dharma on the earth. After this, he distributed the whole land he acquired from the Kshatriyas to Brahmins as a gift. See, in Shastras, it's like this. If once gifted, we cannot use the gifted item. That's what Shastra says. So, with his arrow, Parashurama sent or pushed back the ocean, which is in the western side. Then, to some extent, the ocean was pushed back, and in that land, he started living. From that day onwards, it was named as Parashurama Kshetra. And another story in Ramayana which mentions, and it says that Parashurama came face to face with Rama. When Rama was returning to Ayodhya after marrying Sita. When he came face to face, he immediately calls for a challenge of tying the bow, which was a special one and belonging to Supreme God Narayana. See, Rama did whatever Parashurama expected him to do so. After tying the bow and putting the arrow in that, Parashurama asked Rama to kill the tapas, that is penance, of an asura by name Atula. He was inside Parashurama. He was thinking that God cannot be killed. So he wanted not to be killed. He wanted to come over the death itself. So by doing the tapas, he got a boon from the god Rudra. Then he was inside Parashurama. So when Parashurama asked Rama to kill the penance of Asura, at that time, that Atula, the demon or the Asura, jumped out of Parashurama to save himself. So at that time, he was killed by none other than Sri Ramachandra. This whole story about Rama and Parashurama is not that easy to understand. As I have already mentioned, God incarnates himself and practically illustrates some of his peculiar, extraordinary qualities and powers which are explained in the scriptures. For example, Neha Nanasti Kinchana, thus stated in scriptures. See, absolutely there is no difference in him. God is absolutely one, absolutely monolithic in nature. See, this is illustrated practically by God himself in Parashurama Avatara. He proves that he and Rama are not different. Absolutely no difference at all. To show this, Parashurama entered into Rama and again came out. So this is the way the God in his incarnations practically illustrates whatever it is explained about himself, about him in scriptures. In this Avatara of Parashurama, the god Parashurama did the Jnana Karya also. That is, he preached Shastra and also Shastra, the knowledge of war and also the philosophy. To mention Dronacharya, Bhishmacharya, Karna, and many more are all Shishyas of Parashurama, the incarnation of Supreme God Narayana. In short, this is the story of Parashurama. Let us see what messages are there from this very Avatara of Parashurama. See, in this Avatara, that is the sixth incarnation or Avatara in Dashavatara, Lord gave a message that when Kshatriyas are arrogant and not performing their duties, that is dharma properly, Brahmana has got every right to take over them in any manner, even by taking law into his hands, that is dharmadanda, and punish them. This is a very big message to save dharma given to the whole mankind. But of course, it all depends upon the circumstances, which we should never forget. We cannot just take law into our hands. If our own needs are not met, it's not like that. It's a special case. In another message in this Avatara, Lord Parashurama seems very angry throughout this Avatara. See, the very anger, that is Krodha, is not a good quality. It's a bad quality. It's a flaw. But God is flawless. Hence, we must understand properly. So we must understand that the anger was only in his expressions, but not his innate nature. So, God is flawless. Krodha is a result of tamoguna, it says in the scriptures. That is why we should understand the anger shown by Parashurama in a proper way. It's a very important point to be noted also. And in the last, by showing strength of destroying Kshatriyas and also by preaching philosophy through this Avatara, the God is giving another message to the mankind, particularly to his bhaktas, that both knowledge, which we say is a mental strength, and also the physical strength are important in the path of dharma, that is sadhana. So, let us pray God, Parashurama, to give us both physical strength and also mental strength to march in the path of sadhana. Thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste.